Hey guys, oh what a day. It's been a day full of events. The Guatemala trip has officially ended. I'm in Mexico City as we speak right now. And I just had a very interesting incident occur when I was checking into this hotel. I made a massive blunder with my booking. Admittedly, I did. I did this. And um, what I'd actually done, I'd booked for March 18th instead of Feb 18th. And I'd rocked up. I have one night before my next flight to the Bacalar in Mexico, where I'm going tomorrow. And turns out that nothing was booked for tonight. And, yeah, it had been a day full of travel, not a lot of sleep. And I was pissed. So I wanted to record a video on exactly what happened because the things that I applied in this interaction with the staff at this hotel to get the room that I wanted, and also the benefits and the kind of the surprise um, things that came along with it, the surprise, I guess, benefits and beautiful additions that I got was awesome. But it was because I just unconsciously now, because it's very ingrained in me, followed these specific communication and I'm going to call them alchemy principles. I could say they're sales principles, but really they're alchemy principles. So this video is going to be really about, what do you do when things go wrong? When things go wrong, how do you communicate? So if you're watching this and you're a business owner and you want to know how to transition a sales conversation when it's not going your way, maybe with a customer that's already in your business, already using your stuff and it's not working out, maybe with a staff member, maybe with your partner, maybe you want to apply this with your partner or your kids. These principles that I'm about to give you are very powerful because I witnessed myself apply them tonight and go, whoa, that was a big transformation. Okay, so let me give you the backstory. Backstory is I got up at 5 a.m. this morning to leave Lake Atitlan in Guatemala to travel to Guatemala City to fly to Mexico City. Now, that sounds pretty simple, but in reality, on a Saturday here, Guatemalan traffic is insane. I can attest to that. Can I attest to that? I don't look. I can't remember when I got here exactly, but the people at the reception told me Saturday's crazy. And I remember my first day in Guatemala, it was nuts when I arrived in the morning. So I'm like, you know what? My flight's not till 2 p.m. out of Guatemala City, but I am going to get up early, 5 a.m. I'm going to skip the traffic, get to the airport, so I'm not chasing this flight. So that's what I did. So I'm sleep deprived. I was with some friends from the hostel last night and, we're all in the dorm and it wasn't exactly like I just think when you go to a hostel, you don't sleep that well anyway. So yeah, I'm sleep deprived and whatever. So I get to the airport, Guatemala City, eventually get on the flight at 2, fall asleep on the plane. It's an okay sleep, but I'm in and out. Land in Mexico City. My bags take like an hour to get there. So by the time I rock up at this hotel, it's 6. And I'm hungry, I'm tired, and I just want to be in the hotel bed and go to sleep. Right. So rock up, show them my phone, show them my passport, and I'm thinking, here we go. The sweet, soft pillows are coming. But the chick at the front turned around and said, Mr. Debano, you have booked for March 18th, not Feb 18th. So I look and sure, I see my mistake right in front of my eyes and I'm not fucking happy about it. I'm pissed. So my first reaction is, without being conscious and without, really tuning into what was going on for me emotionally, I react and I snap. Well, you can change that on your system. It's exactly like just bang, right? Didn't even bother to translate it into Spanish, just went for it. And, the receptionist is stuttering. Oh, no, we can't because we have a team for it and la, la, la. And I'm getting agitated because it's like, now you're not meeting my needs and I'm a customer. wasn't really a customer because I hadn't paid yet. I just booked on a site. So, you know, it's not going well, right? She's calling her supervisor. The supervisor's coming over, and I'm angry, right? So the supervisor says, you've got two things you can do. We can't do anything for you, unfortunately. We don't even have a lot of rooms available. And the ones that we do have available are expensive. So at this stage of the interaction, it's the short version. Basically, I had put the receptionists against me, like my reaction had kind of caught them off guard. I had put them in a frame of mind of, let's tell him how expensive our rooms are so we can get rid of him. And let's just leave him to go and work this out on his own. So there I am, and I'm thinking, fuck, all right, and this hotel is at the Mexico City airport. So I'm thinking, all right, I can leave, pay for a taxi, get to another hotel, and hope that on a Saturday night, I can get a booking somewhere else around the airport. But something told me, I'm like, that is only going to be like more of a hassle and possibly more expensive, more tiring. I don't really want to do that. So I was like, cool. Thanks for the direction, took the Wi-Fi code and started to do what they said. So I'm like, the only thing I can do now is just follow through on what they said. So I'm on the phone, the hotel phone, because my Australian phone won't call Mexican numbers here. And I'm trying to get the Wi-Fi code to work on my computer and it's not working. So I go through it, and then I'm like, all right, I've got nothing to lose here. I'm going to apply what I teach people, what I teach my clients, and let's see what happens. So I let go of all attachment to any outcome and just went, all right, this is, I'm just going to take myself through this process. So first thing I did, I had to acknowledge what I was focused on. Okay. So for me in that moment, I was focused on how fucked up I'd made my scenario. And I was focused on the anger that I had towards myself. So it's like, Jordan, you fucking idiot. You couldn't have just booked February and it would have been a seamless trip to your hotel room, jump on the bed, order some room service and ta-da, you're good for the night. But no, you did. Like, I was focused on that chatter. It was very unconscious, by the way, but I realized it's like, holy shit, I'm focused on it. The second thing I did, I asked myself, what do I want to do because of this anger? What do I want to do? And it was like, well, I want to rip someone's head off about it and make it someone else's problem. That was just the truth, right? I didn't want to fix it. I was tired. I'm hungry. And I'm like, I don't want to go to another hotel and spend more money if I don't have to. This is bullshit. They've got a computer right there. So I was wanting someone to fix this for me. And it was coming out in a paying out way. So those were the first two steps. Now, after I took myself through these two steps, I can tell you the tension didn't go away, but my attachment to that negative focus went. Okay, so there was still a lot of tension. There was still a lot of angst. Am I going to stay here tonight? Am I going to have to change? What's going to happen? But my attachment to the like, fuck, I fucked up. It broke. It broke. I was free, right? So then I asked myself, what do I want to happen? What do I want to happen here, truthfully? And all I said was, I want my head to hit the soft hotel pillow, the soft hotel bed pillow. And I started imagining it. My head's in it. I'm there. My back's on the sofa, and I'm fucking cool, right? Now, I know it sounds like a bit woo-woo and like, really, that's all you did? But trust me, the minute I imagined that, my whole energy, the thoughts, the feelings I was having changed. And I was like, okay, all right, I'm centered now. So then I was like, cool. I realized the phone isn't taking me through to one of their agents, and this Wi-Fi is not working. So this is where the sales principles come in. So before I get onto the sales principles, these first three steps that I gave you, what have I done? I've alchemized my relationship to the event. I've alchemized it. I've transformed it. All of a sudden, you know, I went from angry and like, fuck, I'm trying to like get what I want, but I'm not focused on what I want. In a matter of seconds, literally seconds, I had not taken away my uncomfort, but I transformed it. I transformed it. And what did that create space for? Me to communicate and create what I want. So I'm like, cool. Step one, communicate or connect the prospect to what they've said, right? Talk about in The Salesman, the Smuggler. If you haven't read it, go get it, because this principle will blow your mind. It's that simple, right? So what did I do? Rolled up, took my suitcase, took my laptop, my phone, handed the Wi-Fi code back and pointed at the phone. And I said, thanks for giving me the code and for getting me onto your team. Unfortunately, your code's not working and the phone isn't connecting. I've been trying for 10 minutes, you know? And I didn't say anything else. I think I literally tied it down with, you know, I don't even know if they know what that meant, but Aussies would. But anyhow, shared that with them and they kind of went, oh, no, Jesus. So now this is the next thing. So I've connected them to what they've said. The next thing, tension rises. Okay. So remember, this is another thing. If you've read The Salesman, the Smuggler, you'll know that the separation between you and your prospect is where tension gets created. The difference in your thoughts and feelings versus their thoughts and feelings. All of a sudden, there's tension here. So I knew what was happening. I'm like, cool, sweet. It's uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable. They're uncomfortable now. And I just stood and stayed focused on the hotel bed pillow. Like, okay, we're going to get this. So then they turn around and they said, okay, let me do the password for you. I'm like, beautiful, great. So I handed them my laptop. They did their thing, and the Wi-Fi code worked. And then I asked them, okay, cool. So what do I do now, right? So again, I've connected them to what they've said. I've amplified tension. Now I've asked for the next step. Now, why have I asked for the next step? Okay, I knew what I needed to do. I need to go and manage my booking, but this is where you got to be like on, because these receptionists weren't keen on helping me out earlier. I had to get them in the mode of helping me out more. All right. And that is a shift in power dynamics. And again, this is another principle that's in The Salesman, the Smuggler, and it's all around framing. Okay. So I'm not going to explain too much around it, but I'll tell you what happened. Because they had set a frame on me at the desk earlier where it's like, rooms are very expensive, and we don't have many tonight. That is and I'd agreed to it. That was a frame of, you know, basically we can't help you. We're too busy. And you can't afford us, which is bullshit. I could afford their prices. I checked, but they'd set that frame. I had come back, okay, and I'd set two frames. The first frame I set was your Wi-Fi doesn't work and your reservation team's not picking up. The second frame, okay, and again, this doesn't sound like a frame, but it is what do I do now? This is a prospect set frame, all right? So I'm giving you a little bit of juice here. Prospect set frame is where the prospect sets the frame. So I'd said, what do I do next? She'd said, okay, now you got to go manage your booking and try and change it. So I knew, I got that information. I knew, great. So now either one of two things is going to happen. Either I'm going to be able to change my booking and just move it to tonight, or we're going to be at step 2, which I didn't know what that was, but it was going to be along the lines of, can't get your refund, or, you just got to cancel it and rebook. So either way, I was like, I'm going to be able to handle either outcome, not attached, whatever. So I went on and I went to manage my booking, and I'm very calm. I'm staying in the end result. Now, the last thing I did, and again, this is where, you know, I've said it so many times for you guys to go read the book because all the principles are here. But this is where in my sales masterclasses where I teach that tension closes the deal, right? And if you use tension, this is another thing that I want to add. When you use tension, you actually start to get more into your deal that you maybe thought you would never get. Okay, so I check manage booking, and turns out that the hotel has a policy where it's like any modification that you make or cancellation, you get charged a full rate. So what did I do? Simple. I went back to the start, focused on what I wanted, ensured I was on what I wanted, and I connected the prospect to what they were saying. Now, the girls at the reception are part of the hotel team. So I just had to tell them what their team, what their company is saying, right? Very powerful principle. So I go, awesome. Hey, thank you. Check this out, right? That's all I did. Check this out. Any cancellation model, I just read it to them. Literally read it to them. Stopped. I go, shit. Right? The girl turns around and says, oh, okay, well, I'll tell you what you do. Cancel the booking, and we get an email when that happens, and we'll tell we'll tell them that we're not going to charge for it. And I said, so you're going to get an email once I cancel this, and you're going to let the company know that I'm not going to be charged for tonight. She said, yeah. I go, thank you so much. That's very nice. I go, but what about tonight? Like, okay, I cancel this booking and it's great. You're not charging me. Again, I'm just connecting them to what they're saying. But what about tonight? They're expensive rates. And she goes, yeah, but if you go to this site, magic, right? If you go to this site, you might be able to get a better deal. Surely enough, what did I do? I went to the site she recommended and found the rates that I had originally booked for. Okay, turns out it was a weekly rate. So that whole interaction, guys, there was a bit in there, but I want to summarize everything that happened. And just so you guys can see, that is the soft pillow that I'm going to crash my head on as soon as I finish this. Here's the thing. When you are focused on something that has nothing to do with the sale or has nothing to do with what you want, you will sell that. You will close that. You'll create that. You will. Okay? It's just inevitable. Secondly, if you can't see and own what you're actually about to do in the heat of the moment, then you are at the mercy of your bullshit. Okay, your traumas, your triggers, you're at the mercy of your unconscious mind, which is just, it's not cool. Okay, you're never going to be able, in my sales training programs, I always say this, you're never going to be able to beat your sales conditions. When you're selling from your conditions, when you're selling from all the things that you think you need, okay, you actually don't end up getting what you wanted. It's like, I need the money, but it's like, that has nothing to do with the deal. The deal is about what the customer wants. Or I need to get rapport, but hang on a second, that's not actually about the sale. It's about what the end result that the customer wants. Okay. So because I could see that and catch myself and go, stop focusing on your anger, stop focusing on the fact that you've created all this work, and stop focusing on the fact these girls don't even want to help you at the start. Because I could do that, I was able to refocus. And then the steps that follow are very simple, guys. Connection. Connect the person to what they're saying. Tension. Use tension. Allow things to get uncomfortable and hold your ground. And if you are focused on what you want, I promise you, I can't say it's going to happen all the time, but like magic, the majority of the time, you will end up getting what you want. Okay. All right, guys. I hope that was helpful, because I apply this principle when I'm making sales calls myself for my business, when I'm training sales teams. I'm not making as many sales calls, to be honest, as I used to back in the day. with the independent closers, but I felt like tonight was one of the first examples that I'd had in a long time where it was kind of fucked up. And I managed to create what I wanted in the end. So yeah, do with that what you will, and go get The Salesman, the Smuggler. Go get the book, because everything that I've just spoken about is in detail in the book. Okay. And if you do buy a paperback copy, we still have our competition running, where literally we're about to do the draw in like 4 days, where you can enter to win a year's worth of free sales alchemy coaching from myself in our online program. So yeah, all you need to do to enter that is buy a paperback copy, send the receipt to hello@jordandebano.com, and you will enter that draw. All right, guys, well done. Apply these principles, and we will chat very soon.